am. Whether you are watching live or whether you are watching the replay, listen, I am so happy you're here. I'm happy you're here because when I made the post about this, what was on my heart concerning pastors and leaders and what I felt was happening. This was not the first time, right? This wasn't something new to me. This was not something that I just thought about. No, we actually started this back in 2014. It just has now become even more prominent in my heart. Um, and for those of you who don't know, who am I? I am Chelselia Cookie Payne. I am the founder of PAYNE Glory Incorporated. I'll get into that a little bit more in a little bit as to the reason why we're even here, right? How we came to be, all that. And I have a special guest that I'm going to bring on in just a bit. I want you to know that this is, I'm looking over to the side because this is interactive. I know that I may be the person that you actually see and hear, but I am looking at the contents. I'm looking at the not contents, the comments. Hello, Elder Will. I'm so happy that you're here. I know that there are some others who are on. Go ahead and be prepared, you all, because this will be interactive. Good evening, Apostle. So glad that you are here as well. I'm again, this is not going to be a long call, but it is what I believe it is going to be impactful. So again, let me thank you all for being here and just taking the time out of your schedules. I don't take your presence here lightly, whether you are a pastor, whether you're a minister, whether you're an intercessor, whether you're a mental health professional, whether you are, wherever you fall, right? Faith-based leader, advocate, creative, supporter, musician, wherever you fall, or like me, somebody who understands the importance of healing within leadership and ministry, I welcome you. Again, I am, for those of you who don't know, I am Chelselia Cookie or Coach Cookie Payne. I am the founder and executive director of PAYNE Glory Incorporated, as well as the founder of the PAYNE Purpose Academy, and the creator of this particular initiative, PAYNE in the Pews, Mental Health and Ministry, which yielded us PAYNE in the Pulpit, serving while wounded, leading while healing. I'm so elated and honored to have Apostle Will Francis on with us. He last year helped us with a phenomenal conference last year under the same title, Serving While Wounded, Leading While Healing. And just so amazing, such an amazing vessel and a blessing to the kingdom of God. Tonight, you all, is not simply about information. This could have been an email if that was the case. I'm just being honest. But tonight is really about vision. It is about healing. It's about collaborating. It is about restoration, y'all. And it's about movement. It's a lot of talk, especially on social media. I mean, no shade, but there's a lot of talk. But then there are people who are like, and I use him as an example again, who are like Apostle Will Francis, who get on here on social media and on platforms and talk about what the need is, but actually do something with that, do something about that. And so I'm just like blown away at how amazing God is in preparing us. Let me for just a moment, if you all will excuse me for just a moment, I am getting some wonderful messages from people who are trying to get in. It pays to have a second device next to you, doesn't it? to share your information. So if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to be sharing with others who are actually contacting me to get in, because I don't want anybody to miss out, right? We don't want anyone to miss out. And this replay will be available to you all. I want to give you as much as I possibly can in just a few minutes. If that works for you, that works for me. So here's one thing, as I was saying a moment ago, something that has become undeniably clear to me. I can only speak for me, right? I can only speak from my vantage point. And that is, there are a lot of people who are serving faithfully while silently struggling, truth be told. And for really far too long, many leaders have felt like they had to choose between being strong or being honest, because we hear the term a lot, bleeding on the sheep. You know, I'm sure that pastors and leaders, they get tired of that phrase, but it's, you know, it's a thing. They have to choose between being honest with themselves and with leadership, or healing for real. Like choosing between serving others, which is wonderful. Please know that I'm not saying that that's not necessary, but they're making the choice between that and saving themselves. It should, both can coexist, but I don't know that everyone knows that. So I believe wholeheartedly that God never intended for leaders to bleed in silence while trying to carry everybody else. That seems not only unfair, but it's not scripturally sound. And so let me calm down. So that's why we're here, guys. Calm down. That's why we're here. So let me give you a brief backdrop of how we got here. And thank you for all those who are joining in. I appreciate you so much. Definitely happy to see you in the comments. God bless you all for joining. Please feel free to tag others as you're coming in. I am elated that you guys are here. But I'm glad that you all are here to hear my heart, because you're here because I believe you also have had this on your heart. So real quick, let me give you the backdrop. So PAYNE Glory Incorporated, our nonprofit, we were formed 20 years ago. Well, now a little over 20 years ago. And on a very real platform, from a very real place of healing and survival and purpose and advocacy. But in that space, it was mainly towards domestic violence awareness and prevention, because that's where I was at that particular time, or what I had come through. I wasn't at that point then, but what I had come through. And so I felt the pull to be able to be for someone else what I needed in my time, which was, I understood what it felt like to not be in that situation any longer of abuse, but still be there mentally and emotionally, and in some cases physically, because your body responds in various ways to trauma and traumatic events. There's a book that says, or I think, I believe there is a book that says, the body keeps score, right? And so our organization spent years working in those areas of domestic violence awareness prevention, community empowerment. We would have women's health and wellness expos every single year. We would do leadership development. As I spoke earlier, I let you all know that I am a coach, and I have a coaching academy. And then in that same year, quietly but definitely, right? I gave you earlier the in 2014, when I say that same year, in the year of 2014 is where PAYNE in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry was born. It actually started out as PAYNE in the Pews Domestic Violence and no. It started out as PAYNE in the Pews Domestic Violence and the Church. That's what it started out at the top of 2014, April of 2014 to be exact. But then the same year, we had another event called Pain in the Pews, Serving with Broken Pieces. And one of my brother is on tonight, Edwin Williams, who was an integral part of that. After that event, literally, that was in September, I want to say, of 2014 or August. But I know it's 2014 that God's, because I thought it was just going to be Pain in the Pews, colon, something, something, something every time. So, I'm thinking God's creative. He's going to give me something new every year is going to be a different theme. But no, that same year, Pain in the Pews, Mental Health and Ministry was born, and it's been going strong ever since. And then in that same year, quietly but slowly, Pain in the Pulpit became a real thing. That became a real thing. Yeah, a living, breathing, real thing, y'all. And at that time, there were not many conversations happening around mental health within the faith community. Now you hear more. 2014, no, especially not compassionate, grace-filled, biblically founded and grounded conversations. A lot of opinions, but I digress. I digress. But something really became clear. It became immediately clear, and that is, pain was not always in the pews. Pain was in the pulpit. Pain was experienced by pastors. Pain was experienced by ministers, intercessors, faith leaders, choir members, church members, musicians, all of them carrying silent wounds while still faithfully serving and leading, right? And so later that same year, like I said, in 2014, it became really necessary that Pain in the Pulpit not just be a name that we share and just a catchy title, but no, it had to have legs. It needed to move. It needed to be a space where people who serve could feel seen, helped, and encouraged. So when God gave me the name Pain in the Pews and Pain in the Pulpit, I didn't come up with that name because I was like, God, this sounds a little tight. But let me make something clear for those of you who may not have ever heard of Pain in the Pews, who may not have ever heard of me or anything that I do. This initiative is not to criticize the church. Just want to make sure for those in the back, just want to make sure you're clear. This is not to attack leadership, but this is to create a safe, compassionate, wisdom-filled space where leaders can finally acknowledge that I need support too. Period. For real. So over the past few years, the need has only grown stronger. If you're on social media for more than a couple of minutes, you see, you know. If you turn on your news, if you listen to a podcast, if you go out in your community, forget social media, you'll see the need, especially now. So why now? Why, as I told you, I started this in 2014, but why now is there such a urgency in my spirit to re-engage and revamp and revitalize this movement? Well, there has been such a strong tug on my heart and spirit concerning leaders, y'all. Since I was about to say since the beginning of the year, but that's not really true. It's been more like since the middle of last year. Clearly since 2014, if I'm being honest, but no, this has been different, y'all. It's been different. And it's been strong too. But now more than ever, I believe that many leaders are emotionally exhausted for many reasons. mentally overwhelmed for many reasons, spiritually depleted for many reasons, and silently carrying burdens that there's just a few people can really truly see or even understand, because sometimes it takes, you walking in someone else's shoes, as our grandparents used to say, for you to understand. And unfortunately, too many have normalized suffering in silence, because where has the example been to show them that you don't have to suffer? Daughter or son, you don't have to suffer in silence. That is not a sign. Your martyrdom is not a sign of you being more anointed or holy or scripturally sound. But suffering silently is not the same thing as strength. It's really not. And so and again, I want to, I'm looking over, I want to encourage you that this is, although you can hear me and see me, I encourage you to engage in the comments, because I definitely want to know your thoughts, your feedback. Because this is not just the information call for you to just get some information and get off the call. No. I'll tell you in a moment. So this initiative is about helping create healthier and sustainable, grace-filled leadership environments where healing and leadership can coexist, where wisdom and wellness, come on somebody, as they say in church, come on somebody, well, wellness and wisdom can coexist, where prayer and professional support can coexist. Where do we get that idea that it can't? Where do we get that? Where leaders can know that you don't have to die emotionally in order to serve faithfully. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So let's get to the meat of it. Although that was the makings of the sandwich. We got the bread, we got the condiments on the bread, we got the lettuce and tomato. Let's get to the meat. One of the major upcoming components of this initiative is something we are currently building. And as a matter of fact, there are actually several arms to this, several. And this is where you come in. This is where you can literally plug in, like plug and play. This is where you can literally plug in. And again, I invite you, share this with someone, tell someone, share the link, copy the link and put it in your friend group, copy the link, put it over in your group chat so that others can be on here, because this is where we're going to talk a little bit about a leadership retreat. And I am honored to have, this is not the only thing. This is not the only thing. So don't log off yet, because there's several components. We are in need of several different things. We're going to be talking about having people on our television show. Yes, our television show. We're going to be needing panelists. We're going to be needing people who can share in sharing their story, people who are professionals, whether in ministry or those who serve in ministry. All of that is coming up. But I want to bring to the stage Professor Kiba Richmond Green, who is going to share with us a little bit about something that God has really intentionally given to us. I'm bringing to you Professor Kiba. Hello, my dear.
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. So Professor Kiba, I am going to turn it over to you so that they can learn a little bit more about the Exhale Retreat. I turn it over to you.
Okay, awesome. I'm sorry. Look, I'm getting people saying they didn't get the link either. Oh boy, hold on. For tonight. Well, hello everyone. I can't see anyone, but hello. um, I think you said it, and you said it very well, right? That for years we've heard them say, right, leading and bleeding on the people in a congregation. And so when I heard you call for do a clarion call for people to come forth, I heard in my spirit like it was time. This came to me years ago to do something for the leaders because they are in a place where they need a safe space to be heard, to be seen, and to heal. And so once I brought that to you, you and I were on the same page. And it's amazing how we pretty much had um the same process of this whole venture, right? And so, and I apologize. Thank you, because they are definitely texting me. Um, so we came together. We brought our ideas together again, which were very much in the same vein, like-minded, and we put together this retreat, and we want to introduce it to you all and bring it out there, put it out there for you all. And of course, we hope that you will find it beneficial as well as, yeah, it does look cloudy. I don't know why. Let me move this camera. Apologies. I'm on a different phone because I got too much going on at the same time. So, we hope that you will find it beneficial, but we also hope that you will find it valuable and that you want to join us in giving you a safe space. Miss Chelsea, are you able to share the flyer or the website? Hello?
Yes, my dear, I am about to put the
Okay.
link in the chat right now so that it'll be clickable for everyone.
Okay.
I was doing that as you were speaking.
No
Like
problem.
you said, great minds think alike.
I couldn't see you or hear you, so give me one second. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
Not a problem. And while she's doing that, as you can see, it is called the Exhale Retreat. And y'all, literally, she and I were on the same page. We definitely saw the need, and God heard what we were saying. He heard our hearts before she and I ever got on the phone. And so I'm going to put the link in the chat, and so you all can click on it and get more information. And Professor Kiba, I am going to go off and let you continue
Okay.
on.
All right.
But I
So,
am right here for you.
as she said, we definitely had the same heart and mind when it came to this project. I mean, literally, I wrote my vision. She sent me hers, and it was pretty much, you would think we were in the same room when, when we shared the information because it was so on point. So, again, give me one moment. Let me pull it up. Again, my apologies. Y'all know when these threads, okay, here we go. These threads, when you send text messages, emails, they get caught all up together. So here we go. All right, so it is the Exhale Retreat where you're going to rest, be renewed, and have restoration, right? It's going to be September 9th through the 12th, 2026, so 4 days. 3 nights. And this is for leaders, pastors and church leaders, ministry leaders and intercessors, faith-based organizational leaders, ministry staff and volunteers, worship leaders, right? Anyone who is leading while emotionally exhausted. And so what we see, or what we've come to notice, and I'm sure many of you can agree, is that people are tired. People are exhausted. People are and with their own personal things, right? And so it's very hard to come in and day out and give of yourself daily and still have to deal with your own personal issues. And that's what they've been doing, and we know that. And so how do we give them that space, and they don't feel like they have a place to go and vent, or weep, or share information, because being judged, or their information getting out there, someone talking about them, or and things like that, shame, right, guilt, and things like that. So we know that this is real. We know that this is needed, and we decided to come together and offer this as a solution. So it will be a very small, intimate groups of maybe 6 to 8 people, no more than 8 people per retreat. It will be at a safe location, um, exclusive, inclusive relocation, so that people can have the freedom to get what they need, right? And so it will be a time of prayer and worship, but it's also going to be a time of digging deep, and trying to get to the root of what has been there for so long. So I hope this makes sense. I hope that you all find it valuable. I hope that you all will share. I hope that you come and bring and tell others who are needed. Um, I've heard of the rest, but yeah. So, hey, I don't know. Any questions?
I think
Were you all able to open the link?
I just dropped it in. So it just now got dropped into the chat. So for those of you who are on, you will see under Pain and Glory Wellness, you will see the chat. I'm sorry, the link in the chat. I'm actually also going to put it on the screen as well, so that you can see it on the screen in case you want to do a screenshot. And so that you'll have it available. And you said that the retreat link is not working. Not a problem. We will get it resolved. I will make sure that we get it resolved. It was working just a moment ago, but you gotta love technology. Gotta love it. We will make sure that you get access. Speaking of which, before I forget, because I don't know if anyone who may drop off or whatever the case may be, I want you to be able to get all of this information, right? If there's something that maybe you may have missed, something that you want more information about, any of that, I want to be able to share with you the link of how you can get that. Let me give that to you right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat, and so, like I said, I'm going to share with you a few more things. Not a problem. We will make sure that we get the link fixed. But in the meantime, I'm dropping a link in here now for those of you who want to, so that I make sure I don't miss anyone. So just complete the information on the link that I just dropped in the chat. And I'm going to put it up on the screen so that you can screenshot that. That way we can connect with you and I can send you the updated link. I can send you all the information, including what I'm about to share with you right now. And again, y'all, I cannot thank Professor Kiba Richmond Green enough. When she said that she and I, it was as if we were in the same room, it was literally that. When we came together and really God began to show us that we indeed were on the same page, we were indeed on the right path, and we were indeed following what he had in store for us to do. So this retreat, as she said, is going to be an intimate gathering. And it is going to be spanned for 4 days. And it is not, it is inclusive, as she said. So it's not a women's only. It can be you, and if you and your spouse want to come, you know, it is not just for one particular set of people, right? But it is for those who are serious about breathing. And I don't mean inhale, exhale. Kind of do, but I don't. It's about those who want help in healing. And there's so much more. And so once we get the link working, and I apologize, I tested the link a few times, but you got to, technology is fun, isn't it? But I really want to kind of get into, because like I said, I didn't want to hold you all long, but I do want to share with you some of the other things that we are having in addition to the Exhale Retreat. Again, that's taking place in September. And again, I make sure that you complete the form that I have attached for you, so that I can make sure that I am personally going to make sure you get all the information here. So here are the other opportunities that we have available as pertains to this initiative: Pain in the Pews, Mental Health and Ministry, Pain in the Pulpit, Serving While Leading, Healing While Wounded, right? So here we are in need of guest panelists and speakers. We're also looking for individuals who have wisdom, professional expertise, their own personal lived experience, testimonies, leadership insight, and definitely compassionate perspectives. And we are in need of these people for a 5-day healing experience, right? This is virtual. You can be anywhere. I'm here in metropolitan Atlanta. You could be across the country, which some of the people who responded are. We've had people who responded who were not in this country. We've had people who responded from Africa, people who responded from the islands, people who have responded from all over. So I'm appreciative of that. But this is going to be a 5-day Healing While Leading experience. That is what it's called. A 5-day Healing While Leading experience, right? And this includes, is not limited to, but it includes pastors, ministry leaders, therapists, coaches, intercessors, mental health professionals, advocates, survivors with testimonies. And if that aligns with you, we most certainly would love to discuss that possibility. That's why that form that I attached is so important. In addition, we have our television show, which I shared a little bit about with you a moment ago. Our television show is called The Conduit, and it is aired on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, what is it called, Apple TV, as well as on the BHC Media app and online. So we get a lot of eyes on us, and we're looking for guests to come on there. And many of you who may have known that we have our own channel. It is actually PAYNE Glory TV. The conduit exists to bridge the conversations that matter, right? That's why it's called a conduit. A conduit, for those who may not know, is that little piece of pipe that's under your sink or that carries water. It helps things to move through, right? It's a connecting point. And so we're actively looking for thoughtful, purpose-driven, impactful guests to continue these conversations publicly and responsibly, right? So if you have expertise, insight, a testimony, community impact, or, you may be an author who has written a book that needs to get in front of people, right? Your message connects with people for healing or leadership or faith or wellness, purpose or transformation, right? We would love to explore featuring you on our show. And there's a form that we would send you for that. So that's why the information, the link that I put on there for you to share that information is so very important. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. Thank you so much. This is much needed. Thank you. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I would love that. I would love that. Please send some names. So let me, as we get ready to close out, I just wanted to share a little bit more with you. And then please, if you have not already, please go ahead and fill out that form. If in fact, let me do this. If in fact you're having any issues with the forms, let me put our email address in here. There we go. So if you have any issues with the form, but you are wanting to get more information, email us tonight. Make it happen. We're also preparing for this year's PAYNE in the Pulpit conference. It's PAYNE in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry Conference, but this year we're focusing on what we're talking about tonight, PAYNE in the Pulpit. So that conference will be happening later this year, and we're looking for people to help with that. Everything from partners who are organizations, nonprofit organizations, churches. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for donors. We're looking for several different things. So if you are interested in helping us with this year's conference, email us, connect with us. And some people may want to give financially. We need and welcome your support. Hear me when I tell you, hear my heart, hear me. We need and receive your support. Please, at your earliest convenience, go onto our website and click on the donate button, PAYNEandGlory.com. Click on the donate button. We need your support to help this to grow, to help us to get into the spaces where we need to go. One of the things that we do is we have our chat and choose. Well, in order to have the chat and choose, we have in person, and virtual. In order for those to happen, we need your support. Please. We are asking, no amount is too small. Clearly, no amount is too large. Come on, y'all. Anyway, but no amount is too small. We welcome you to go to our website, click on donate. Listen, this is more than just us coming on. This is more than just a movement. This is more than us taking up time on a Thursday evening and again on Saturday. I want you guys to know that we have a heart and a passion for this. And I haven't even scratched the surface on many of the other things that we have, which include coaching certification for leaders in ministry, because, in addition to having your staff that is equipped to counsel, or maybe not, maybe they are, we are here to help that. We also, before I close out, because there's so much more, guys, but I want to honor your time. We have a PAYNE in the Pews community. It is a site where we have everything from healing-centered resources to leadership work, to digital products, to mental health professionals, leadership development, all of this in that space that we are building. It is only $47 a month for all that we're offering. I need you, make sure you email us that your information so that we can get your information to you. I cannot stress enough how much your contributions to PAYNE and Glory will help us to ensure that even a tenth of what we're trying to get done gets done. Because we don't want to just come on here, just be coming on here. We actually don't even want to be on here. We want to be out there making a difference. So we will be having this call again. I'm not doing I'm not hitting replay yet. It's going to be another live call on Saturday, the 13th of June at 12 noon. Saturday, the 13th of June at 12 noon. It will not be this exact same link. So if you are interested or want to tell other people about it, I encourage you, number one, stay connected to us on social media. Definitely, because we've dropped the link for today, and we will be dropping the link for the 13th on social media. But please be sure that you are engaging with us and making sure that you email us, because I will, as I said, I want to make sure that the links that we shared tonight, you get. I want to make sure that the information that we shared tonight, you have access to it. Before I get off, I wanted to first of all thank you for those who are joining now and those who are watching the replay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm checking the comments just to make sure I haven't missed anyone or missed anything. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight. I appreciate you all more than you know. Thank you, my brother. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Listen, until we meet again, if you choose, you're so welcome. Thank you, Professor Kiva. Thank you so much. And if you want to be on the call on the 13th, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. You are welcome to be a part of the call on the 13th. It will not be exactly the same, because I don't believe in repeat. I probably can't repeat what I just said anyway, because I barely looked at my notes. But anywho, it's neither here nor there. No judgments here. No judgments here. But I love you all. We're going to do this thing, and we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. And so I appreciate you all, and I look forward to you connecting with us again. Go to PAYNEGlory.com. Please share this. Tell others about this. You can share the link after we're finished. You can share the link with others who may not have been a part. Tell others that we are in need of your donations. We're in need of your prayers. We're in need of your support. We're in need of your hands, your feet, because we are doing this. Listen, thank you for being a part. Thank you for being here. I love you. PAYNE Glory, our team, we love you. God gets the glory from it all. Have an amazing night. I love you guys.